Welcome to this edition of the Beacon of Light podcast. We are here with Eric Sitterud, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to set this up. And the reason I want to set this up is because there's no such thing as accidents. So setting this up, I'm in the gym, I think last week, right? Since we spoke, I have had a total knee operation. So I'm in the gym. And I asked you to spot me because I'm looking around. You know how it is. If you go to the gym, you're looking for somebody to spot you when you're increasing your weight and trying to push yourself. But with a lot of weight on the bar, I think we were doing. Was it a bench?
Yes.
Was it the incline or the
incline bench press?
Yeah. It was the incline, right?
Yeah.
Wait, and that's the one where you're sitting up.
Yes.
Which to me is the hardest bench.
It is the hardest one.
Right?
Yeah.
You get the flat.
Yep.
Then you got the one where you're upside down a little bit, which is easy. The incline, for whatever reason, it's the hardest one for me. So I don't know how many plates I had on that thing, but I had at least a plate, maybe a plate and something else. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. It was a lot of weight for me, right? A plate on each side. So I'm looking around. Oh, there. I'll ask that guy, which was Eric, who is in recovery, your wife is in recovery, and you preach the word, right? It's Redemption. Tell me what it is.
Redemption Church, North Ogden.
But you used to do stuff with the youth here in town, I believe, correct? Here in town, meaning Brigham City, which is where Beacon is, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Let's talk about that. What exactly does that mean for you?
Well, yeah. I mean, before I ever got into ministry, became a pastor, I had a long broken road of addiction, in my life, and
to what?
Even in my family's life. I have. At first, it was started with marijuana, got into meth, and then.
What kind of meth? Shooting or smoking?
No, just smoking.
Okay.
Yeah, and then tried some things, but then stayed clean for 3 years because I, ended up having to get.
Wait, this meth use, how old were you?
First time I tried it, I think 14. Yeah. Yep.
Is that when the addiction began, or did you wait?
Yeah, I was already an addict from, 13 to 15. Yeah.
An addict to marijuana?
To just substances in general.
Whatever you get your hands on. I'll try anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. That started at the age of 13. What kind of family life did you have then?
Family, they were alcoholics growing up. Functioning alcoholics.
But you saw it as a youngin'.
Yeah.
Watched it?
Yep.
Do you think that had any part to play in your addiction? Watching your family?
Yes. Yeah. I think, a couple of different reasons. They used alcohol to relax, to escape, to have fun, all these different things. And so then it's just kind of wired in your brain. Oh, that's what you do. That's what you do if you're stressed. That's what you do if you're feeling any feeling.
Yeah, that's your go-to.
And then also, if you have parents that are doing that, they're not really actually necessarily focused on what you're doing.
Basically, parenting.
Yeah. They were good. They were good parents. I love them. We all, who our parents have, we could always do better and put more emphasis on our kids.
Well, look, we both know that there's no set of instructions, especially back in the day, for parenting, right? You kind of just make it up as you go along and figure it out. Sound about right?
There's a lot of trial and error. But I also think that, the more and more I started to understand the Bible, there are some principles that I wish every parent knew.
That you can take right out of the Bible.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things that when we first started talking, that really drew me to you and what you're doing. Remember when you said to me that what you do, because we both believe in AA, right? The 12 steps. I don't necessarily agree with how it's been, disrespected. I mean, when I go to an AA meeting, they read those words in the beginning and they zip right through those words, and those words are important. And we talked about this. I like the fact that you take elements of the AA program and you tie it to elements out of the Bible, scriptures out of the Bible. Did I understand that correctly when you said that to me?
Yeah. Yeah. So, how that all got started, right, was back in from 13 to 15 being in addiction. I ended up getting in trouble with the law, having to do court-ordered counseling, even had to go to AA. That's when I was first introduced to NAAA. And so I was in those recovery rooms and those meetings and introduced to those steps. And so then when I got back into addiction around the age of 19.
Wait.
Yeah.
You started an addiction at the age of 13.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had a break where you stopped?
13 to 15, and then I got in trouble with the law.
Okay.
And so I had to do court-ordered counseling, court-ordered UAs, and probation. And so I was clean for about 3 or 4. Yeah.
While you were on paper?
Yes. Yeah. But eventually what happened was I forgot about recovery and really just wanted to be a normal person. And so got a job, hung out with the guys on the weekend. They were drinking. It was like, oh, I could do this, started doing that. Because I have an addictive personality, took everything to the extreme. It wasn't good. And then that led to I got into bodybuilding, working out, and was doing bodybuilding shows.
Wait. Did you see when he kind of like pointed at me, got into bodybuilding because I was at the gym? I am not that guy.
I know. But
Right,
it's weird how we met because I
believe in lifting weights with regularity, and I believe with eating correctly, which you do as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for a man of my age, I'm okay. Really, but yeah. Okay, so you got into bodybuilding.
Yeah, and so alcohol's got a lot of calories in it, and so when you're getting on stage and posing and trying to do competitions, you've got to really lean down, diet down. And so I thought, okay, I can't do this for this season. What do bodybuilders do? And I started looking into the whole world. Yeah, they take steroids, but they also, to party, they take pills. They'll take different medications, prescription medications, stuff like that, to party. And that was kind of my mindset, because I thought I could be a normal person that did it every once in a while. And instead I took it to the extreme, and that's when Oxycontin was a big deal, like opiate pills. I got severely hooked on opiates after that. And
what is that? Well, wait. See, what does that mean? You're taking them to wake up? You're taking them during the day? You're taking them to go to bed? Are you talking all day, every day?
It started out with just doing it to relax, and then it started doing it at work. And then it started, to take for soreness of muscle. But then it was like, hey, I'm not even going to the gym because I'd rather just lay around and feel the euphoria of opiates. And then those pills were really expensive.
$80 a pop?
Yeah, 60 to 80. And I was taking about 3 a day.
Then you got to afford that habit.
Yeah. And so then it switched to heroin, because heroin's cheaper. Yeah.
So, hold on a sec. Your dealer, your friend,
yeah,
right? Did you get any oxys from? At some point, says to you, Eric, have you thought about this heroin? Is that how it went down? Or somebody said to you, you're taking and wasting all that money on those pills. I want you to switch to heroin. It's a lot cheaper. Is that in some capacity? Somebody told you?
That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it worked. Maybe somebody further along than me discovered this,
shooting it.
that they were cheaper. Yeah,
Now,
eventually.
just
Yep.
from my own, I've never done this before, but don't recall if on the podcast I've ever asked anybody this. This is the first time I'm going to ask this.
Mm-hmm.
That first time that you did heroin,
Yeah.
were you nervous as all get out?
Yeah, I mean, you're scared that you're going to die because you see people overdose in movies and stuff like that.
And yet you still did it.
Well, the addiction to opiates
Is so overwhelming.
yeah, it's not just mental, it's physical.
So let me ask you, when you
Yeah.
did heroin the first time, did it work?
Yeah.
Did you say to yourself, why didn't I think of this sooner?
Well, yeah, I mean,
really?
kind of, but
I mean,
probably with a lot more shame and guilt. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I guess I'm doing it, because that's kind of what addiction
so
feels
at what
like.
age did the heroin begin? And so wait, when the heroin got into the picture, did you get rid of the opiates then? Did you just switch from one to the other? Like,
Well, it was they work the same way, so it was like whatever I could get, because an opiate addiction is, if you're not taking them regularly, you're sick for 2 to 3 weeks. Like, you can't operate.
wishing you were dead.
Yes. Withdrawals are terrible. And so if you could get your hands on some Loratabs or whatever, because you couldn't find anything else, it all has the same chemical in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I'll take what I can get. But the
Yep.
heroin seemed to be the cheapest avenue for you.
yep. Cheapest, most potent. Yeah. Yeah.
How long did that career last?
That was probably 3 years. Yep. 3 years into that.
Then at some point you say, I can't. Enough's enough, right? Or no?
Well, I mean, in the middle of it, you want to quit. I tried to quit hundreds of times, probably, in my lifetime, but just didn't have the power to do it. And it was, going. So then I get in trouble with the law,
Again, for the second
Yep.
time,
Yep.
right?
And then went to jail.
It's probably saved your life.
Yes.
So now you're in jail detoxing, but that was all kinds of fun for you.
Terrible.
I mean,
Terrible.
right?
Yeah.
Because you can't go take a shower whenever you want, when you want to, because I've heard about this. You want to just go hop in the shower and live there.
Yep.
So you're in some cell just wanting to crawl out of your skin.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did it kill you?
No.
A lot of pain.
Yeah.
You wished you were dead, but it didn't kill you
No.
because here you sit. So you lived through it. So I want to make sure that, we convey this message. Detoxing from these substances will not kill you. It will make you wish you were dead, but you're not going to die. Pain is not, you're not, right?
Yeah, it's doable. It is doable. Yes. You got to do it in a safe place, because
Throwing up.
you're weak, and you need to get fluids, because
Well, did the guards have sympathy on you when you were in jail detoxing? at all?
No, I think they deal with that so much that it's
They're
like,
impervious, they don't care.
yeah,
It's like, whatever. Suck it up,
you did
Buttercup.
this. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean, we're laughing, but damn, you weren't laughing then.
But honestly, I mean,
In the back of your mind, did you think, but this is actually what I need to do? I need this.
I did come to that conclusion. Yeah. Realized that. I think a lot of people need that. They need some safe place to go to detox, and our tax dollars pay for it. So,
Well, in the sense that you're in jail,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now how long were you in jail?
I think I spent a few months in there. Yeah, a few months.
Now you're out of jail.
Yes, and I get out and I'm on probation again. So court ordered counseling, having to get back into NA and AA again.
Regular UAs.
Regular UAs, and I was like, okay, this is my chance. the difference was this time was that while I was in jail, I was desperate enough to pick up a Bible and start pursuing my faith that I had as a child. And I started realizing, okay, if the 12 steps say God, right, and, you need to give your life over to him and, trust him and everything, I better find out who he is. And so I read and read and read and prayed and came to this realization that, man, I've been missing out on a relationship with God. I've been trying to do this in my own power. And I was just telling somebody earlier, addiction is a cycle of shame and guilt. So you use to mask feelings to escape, and then because you used, you get more feelings of shame and guilt. And it just is a cycle over and over. You use, you feel guilty and shameful. But you use more to get rid of those feelings, but they just keep chasing you. It's a cycle over and over again. And when I finally realized, the greatest thing about what God has done for me in the Bible was that I can be forgiven. All of the terrible things that I have done in my life because of addiction, which is a very selfish way of life. It's very self-focused, me, hurting other people. And I realized that I can be forgiven by God for free. I don't have to do anything to work for it or earn it. He's already done the work of sending his son Jesus to die on the cross. I just have to believe that that is true. And I can receive forgiveness.
Wait. Believe or have faith? Same thing?
I think, belief would be the beginning of a faith journey. Yeah. I have to first come to the conclusion that this is true. I believe it. And so, I think they're similar. They're the same thing. But it's not just a one-time thing, right? It's not like get out of jail free card in a sense spiritually.
Wait. So I want to make sure I understand what you're saying to me.
Yeah.
Are you suggesting, this is your belief, right? Are you suggesting that you can, for lack of better terms, make a mistake, commit a sin, right? And be forgiven for that. And then because you're a human, you go back to that trough and basically do the exact same thing. You tell me you can get forgiven again?
Yes.
How many times can that happen?
As many times as it takes.
So I know the answer for me.
Yeah.
For that.
Yeah.
And I believe that if you're a disciple of Jesus Christ, and look, I drop an F-bomb once in a while, right? Doesn't mean I'm not going to go to heaven, right? But in my opinion, if you're a true disciple of Jesus, which we clearly both are, we believe that that's just a never-ending thing. It's never going to go away. We're never going to, I believe, and I'm sure you do as well, and I asked a question I had the same answer for, that's never going to go away. That's why he died on that cross for us and took on 100% of all of that, which is why, believe me, I do, in the Garden of Gethsemane the night before, right? He bled from every pore. The pain of all of these things we're talking about, all of the guilt, all the shame you referred to in a minute ago, he took all that on, so much so he bled from every pore, which, by the way, is virtually impossible for a human being to do and live through. So I believe that it's never going to go away, no matter what we do, no matter how we self-sabotage. He's never going to stop loving us, ever. And he's never going to stop letting us draw on that forgiveness well of repentance.
Yeah. And I believe that when Jesus died on that cross, which is, the Bible tells us that it takes the death, the sacrifice of someone to be the substitution for me. So his death was a substitution for the death that I deserved, that I earned. I have earned death because I've gone against God and I've sinned, but yet God in his grace says, I'm going to provide a perfect sacrifice to be your substitute. And so believing in him and what he did on the cross, I believe that the cross forgives all my sins, past, present, and future. And that can be controversial to a lot of people, but
Why?
the reality is...
Why would it be? I don't understand.
Because there are people that say, well, what if the moment you die, you forgot to say, God, forgive me for this, forgive me that, or, to confess something. Well, the reality is all people, I don't think I've ever met a person that confesses all their sins to God.
But
like,
hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Talk about controversial. Here's one. I don't believe we ever die. I don't believe that when my physical body, when I transition from this stage of my journey into the next stage, when my physical body dies, I don't believe that I die. I believe that the essence of who I am continues in the next phase of the journey. I'm just not in this realm. And I believe that when I go to the next phase, everything that I want to be forgiven for, I can still say, oops, right? Will you forgive me? Because I don't believe that I'm actually dead. I don't die. I continue to live. Now, I came to that realization. I mean, I always thought it in the back of my mind, but it really came to me about 20 years after my old man died, when he came to me. And it was real, right? It was very real for me. My dad was there, which means he still lives because I'm having a conversation with my old man. We go someplace, call it heaven, whatever you want to call it, right? When somebody dies, oh, well, they're no over there. Well, they're with Father now. Jesus called him home.
Well,
we can still have our own thoughts while we're there, in my opinion, right?
Yeah, we don't cease to exist, ever.
100%.
But
it's just different.
Yeah, what I believe is that, there are, the traditional view, there are two places a person goes when they die. Either away from God in hell, because they didn't trust in Jesus for the forgiveness of their sins, and therefore they get the punishment that is just. Or they go to heaven and only on the merit of Jesus Christ, only on what he did. We didn't earn our way there, right? And so the Bible says in Hebrews 9:27, it's appointed unto man once to die, and then the judgment, and then Paul says in his letter to the Corinthians, to be at home in the body is to be away from the Lord, but to be away from the body is to be at home with the Lord. And so when a person does die, it's automatically judged right then and there. Did they have forgiveness of sins or not? And that decides where they go. So,
see, I think
that
God loves us enough and loves us so much that even in that space, he still gives us an opportunity to make a choice. Even then, after our physical body is dead, that place you're talking about, you're saying that then and there, that's when we make the decision. You go this way, you go that way. I'm still of the belief that even in that moment, we still get to make a choice to make that decision one way or the other. Even then, that's me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. The only I guess the issue that I have is that the urgency then to go tell this message, the reason why I became a preacher, the reason why my life is now his, right? I'm going to do your will. And that's not to say that you can't have a regular profession and not still do his will. You can. God wants people working in every sector of the world, of the economy.
Yeah,
But there's still, whether you do work as a guy who, makes flour, or a farmer, or, a psychologist, or a preacher, we're all called to go share this message. And why would God tell us to go share this message in the urgency if it wasn't so serious,
Well, once again, we're talking about individual belief.
Yeah. Yeah.
I believe that that it is urgent.
Yes.
In the Bible, don't know where, because I'm not a scriptorian like you are, but it talks about different degrees of glory. The degree of glory of the sun, the moon, and the star. Right now, I'm not talking about Mormon stuff because they believe in the 3 degrees. I'm talking about what the Bible says, right? And that specifically says that you're giving 3 degrees of glory. And I believe that those degrees of glory are depicted by what you choose to do while you're on this plane. So I'm not saying, I mean, if I go through this life, let's say you and I are born, we're twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're born basically, and we're identical twins. Throughout the course of my life, I choose to be, well, I don't know, like a Stalin or a Hitler or
Mm-hmm.
Charles Manson. I'm doing these things that are contrary to the light. I'm living in that. You, on the other hand, choose good, Mother Teresa. Doing things that are good for humanity. We both, ironically enough, die on the same day. I don't believe that I'm going to live for all time and eternity the same way you're going to live because you've loved and given service. I think we get what we deserve based on the choices and decisions we made
Hmm.
while we're here.
Yeah.
Okay, you were living a life of addiction that wasn't good for you or anybody around you, right? I was living a life of addiction that wasn't good for me or anybody around me, making choices that were contrary to the light and moreover were given to the darkness. You made some choices and some decisions to make different choices in your life, and here you are now, and so have I done the same thing, right? And like you, I will spend the rest of my life with every breath that I draw to serve people, primarily for me, those that are less fortunate than myself. You're doing the same thing, which is why we're having these conversations about what can we do together, right?
Yeah.
Me with Beacon Recovery, right? And the Beacon of Light podcast, and you with your ministry. How can we merge those two? So what we've done earlier, and I wasn't down there because, well, I'm up here doing what I do, but you had the opportunity. I don't know, did you meet with my staff or any of my patients, the patients at Beacon as well, or did you do both?
It was staff and some patients that are peer
And,
support, I believe. Yeah.
what we're gonna do is invite you to come here, right? Now, I'm not big on religion at all, right? What I am big on is faith. The faith in the fact that we can pray to a God who, in fact, does hear our prayers and he does answer our prayers. If I can use you as an example as to teaching these people in whatever capacity how that they can pray and that he will hear and answer those prayers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it, right? Let's get you in here. If you're interested, I even, if I remember right, offered you to do some of your ministry stuff to the community here, and I offered up, part of my space.
Yeah.
Did I say that? I did,
You did.
and I meant it, right? We'll carve out. I don't know where you were, if you were upstairs or downstairs, but we'll tell me the day, tell me the time. We'll carve out, that space that you can use. It's, you know what I mean. If you want to do it in the evenings, we'll just pick an evening that we're not doing, family. We have family night. We have a support group that we do on certain evenings. We'll just pick a night that none of that's happening, and then you can just come on in here and use that up. And there, would love that.
Yeah. One of the things that I did share in there was that in recovery, we should be desperate to try different things because the reality is we've tried life our own way and it didn't work out, right?
Wow, it's interesting that you're saying that because I often say to these people meaning our tribe, people that are stuck in their addictions, right?
Yeah.
Whoever you are, Eric, right? You've been doing it your way. That's why you're here. We're going to ask you to do it his way so you don't have to be here.
Yeah.
I don't want you in treatment at Beacon Recovery. I don't want you here. I want you out there,
Yeah.
living a life, being happy, right? Living in the light. Because while you're in your addiction, you're not in the light, you're in the darkness. Okay? And so, yeah, if you want different results in your life, if you're not happy with the results that you're getting, right? then you must make different choices. And like you, I believe that those choices are the easiest way to get to those positive choices is in and through Jesus Christ. There is no other way. Just like that movie, The Highlander. There can only be one. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but there's only one way from my perspective. It's in and through Jesus. There is no other way. Okay? And that's what we teach. And you teach the same thing, which is why you've been invited to be on the Beacon of Light podcast. Goody for you, you know, because we get to spread this common word. Look, you have some beliefs based on your knowledge of the Bible that are yours, and those are your truth. I have a little bit of variation. That doesn't make your way wrong and my way right. That means that your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth, right? But we have a common belief in the atonement of Jesus Christ, right? And we have a common belief that we can pray and that our prayers are going to be heard, whether we want to believe it at that moment or not. Because there was a time in your life, as well as mine, that I didn't believe that maybe even God existed. Because if he did, then why would this be happening to me again? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what message for the people that are listening to this podcast right now, what do you want them to hear?
I think that everything in life takes faith, especially when you're wanting to get better, to become a healthier human being. We make decisions about supplements and diet and exercise, right? And there's studies on these things, and people will say, well, we've done these studies and it's good. And sometimes there's contradictory studies, right? But so on some level, you take what you know about something and you have to believe, okay, I'm going to try this because I believe it can work, right?
Faith.
That same thing happens, so taking supplements or going down a journey of trying to become a better person. And so if people are desperate enough to do this because they're sick and tired of being sick and tired, then why not try out faith in God, in the God of the Bible? There really isn't a lot to lose. If you've tried everything else and it hasn't worked, well, there's this promise in a message, by the way, that has had a lot of proof and study that says, okay, well, you can ask Chat GPT. This is funny. What's the most believable religion in the world based on evidence? And it will say Christianity, because there's so much evidence, nobody will ever be able to disprove it. And so then, why not make a decision based on good evidence out there, but make the leap of faith that, okay, I can't help myself, but I do believe that God can.
Well,
and once you find out his message, that he's not sitting up there like a mad father, so disgusted with you, but that he says, I loved you enough to come down in human form, die for your sins, and all I'm asking you to do is believe with all this evidence that I did that for you, and you can accept it as a free gift. And I'll tell you that when you do that, it frees you up from all that shame and guilt, because now your slate's wiped clean. Even if other people in the world haven't forgiven you, somebody greater has. Well, and it's like, wow, this is freeing.
Well, that greater that you're talking about for me leads right back to, well, me forgiving myself. Right? And I can draw on that belief, but, we get to do this, right?
And we can forgive ourselves because God forgave us. It's like, 100%. If he does it, why am I holding a grudge against myself?
And for me, I got to realize that every day, every breath that I draw is a gift. It's a gift, right? There are no guarantees for me. I could, walk out my office door and a meteorite come take me out, right? And so what I have done, and I know you were doing the exact same thing, is taking these days, these hours, and these minutes that are given to me and to use them to assist my fellow brothers and sisters. I'm not perfect, okay? I'm not. But I get to take this time that I've given and use it to bring as many people that come in my contact closer to the light and further away from the darkness, which you're doing the exact same thing. So, are you currently doing some things, I guess, in Ogden right now?
In North Ogden or Pleasant View, we have our services on Sundays.
Sunday, what time is that?
10:30 a.m.
And do we need to be dressed any particular way? We're going to go check that out?
Nope.
I got to have a suit on?
Nope. You come as you are. I mean, like you were going to go be presentable in any public situation, but we don't wear suits and ties.
Okay.
I mean, you could.
Not going to be kicked out if I. And so,
Yeah.
if I'm going to go, I'm probably going to get there, 10:15-ish, just to be safe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, where is this?
It's 3885 Highway 89. So just right off 89, west side of the street, right at the border of Willard and Pleasant View.
Is it a chapel, I guess?
It's actually an old charter school that we rent out on Sundays.
Sweet.
And then on Friday nights at 6:30 in Ogden.
Oh, different building.
Different building at Redemption Church in Ogden on 39th Street.
What's the exact address for that one?
585 39th Street.
One more time.
585 39th Street.
And that's on Friday nights?
Friday nights at 6:30 is a Christian recovery group or a faith-based recovery group. Yep.
So this one is geared towards folks that are in recovery, obviously.
Yes.
Okay.
And I want to get one started up here around this area as well.
Do you need a building?
Yes.
I might know a guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And then what we're going to do you have a website?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put this website up on our resource page, and then this information that you have just conveyed will be on the website, or in some capacity, we'll put this information up there, as well as how can they email or maybe call you to ask some questions, and if so, how would that work?
Yeah, email would be the best.
What is that email?
It's eric@redemptionutah.com.
Utah spelled out. Not UT, it's UTAH.
UTAH, yes.
Yeah, so
Yep.
Eric,
At redemptionutah.com.
and Eric is spelled ERIC,
Yes.
at redemptionutah.com.
Mm-hmm.
So any questions anybody may have, that'll be on the website as well, as far as the resource page is concerned. And if anybody has any questions, they can certainly email you, and you will get back to them as soon as time permits.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right, my friend. Thank you for taking time out of your day, and I look forward to a very symbiotic relationship when we are working together for the exact same purpose, and that's to bring people back to the light. And we both know that when somebody is in their addiction, they're nowhere near the light.
Mm-hmm.
The more we get drawn into that, the further from the light we get, in my opinion, right? And the fun thing is, the light's always going to be there waiting for us when we decide to make different choices. And when we make those different choices, I believe we have different outcomes, right? So, all right, my friend,